Imagine standing at a crossroads after a really profound loss. One path is, well, it's shrouded in this familiar, heavy darkness.
Mhm.
The other, though, you don't know it, whispers of light, of healing, maybe rediscovering joy. If you face a significant loss and that question just echoes, will I ever feel happy again? Well, this deep dive is for you.
Yeah, today we're really embarking on a journey, I think, to understand grief.
Yeah.
Not as some fixed state, but as a dynamic process. It's about finding resilience, finding hope.
Right. It's more than just getting over it, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's about integrating it into your life, finding new meaning in a world that has, well, undeniably changed. We'll explore the emotional, the psychological landscape of this journey, maybe debunk some pervasive myths,
Okay.
and most importantly, I hope, equip you with some practical, active strategies to navigate your own healing path towards that light.
Okay, so when we talk about loss, I think most people, their minds jump straight to losing a loved one, right? That profound emptiness it creates.
That's usually the first thought, yeah.
But grief itself, I mean, at its core, it's actually much more expansive than just bereavement, isn't it? What is that fundamental experience?
It truly is. Grief is that natural emotional suffering we feel when something or someone we love is just gone,
Mm-hmm.
is no longer present.
Mm-hmm.
And while the pain, yeah, it can feel overwhelming, it's not just sadness. It often brings this whole host of unexpected emotions, things like shock, anger, disbelief, even guilt.
Guilt. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. And it's deeply physical, too. It
Uh-huh.
can really mess with your sleep, your appetite, even just your ability to think straight.
Wow. So it's not just emotional, it really hits your entire being. And like you said, while losing a loved one is huge, grief stretches way beyond that.
Absolutely. I mean, think about losing a cherished pet. That could be devastating.
Oh, definitely.
Or the emotional upheaval of a divorce, right?
Yeah.
Or a sudden health challenge, losing a job that felt like part of your identity.
Yeah, your identity tied up in it.
Exactly. It could be the shattering of a dream you held onto, a miscarriage, even selling the family home you grew up in. These are all profound losses.
Right.
And the pain is entirely valid. There's absolutely no shame in grieving for anything that held significant meaning for you. It's personal.
That's such an important point to make, that validation. Now, among all these types of loss, something like a sudden or unexpected death that can feel particularly, I don't know, disorienting. Why does that specific kind hit so differently?
Yeah, a sudden loss, like, say, an accident or a completely unexpected illness, often leaves zero time to prepare, no time to say goodbye.
Yeah, it just pulls the rug out.
Totally. And that leads to this immediate, intense shock.
Yeah.
It can absolutely shatter your fundamental sense of security, of order in the world. You can be left feeling unsafe, like the very ground beneath you has just vanished.
Yeah, I can almost picture that feeling, being completely untethered. It doesn't just change your present moment, it feels like it rewrites your whole future.
Precisely. It creates this deep hole, right? Fundamentally altering your day-to-day existence, your vision for what's next. You might find yourself grappling with intense disbelief, maybe even physically shaking, or finding simple tasks incredibly difficult. And those if-only thoughts,
Yeah.
just churning over how things might have been different, or this powerful sense of anger, those are also incredibly common.
Okay.
What's really crucial to remember, though, is that these reactions might not follow any kind of predictable timeline. Sometimes the full weight of the loss, it doesn't even hit until much later. It can be delayed.
That unpredictability, that lack of a right way, that really brings us to the heart of how individual this journey is, doesn't it? And how many myths we might need to unlearn. Like the common belief that there's a correct way to grieve or some specific timeline you should follow.
And that's just, well, it's simply not true. Grief is such a highly individual experience. It's shaped by so many things: your personality, your coping style, your life experiences, maybe your faith, and of course, the unique nature of the loss itself. There's no normal timetable. It's better, I think, to think of it less like a linear path and more like a roller
A
coaster.
roller coaster ride, that's a really powerful analogy.
It is, isn't it? The ride is definitely rougher in the beginning. The lows are deeper, they last longer. But gradually over time, those really intense periods, they tend to become less frequent, maybe shorter.
Okay, so it eases up eventually.
Generally, yes.
Mhm.
But it's vital to acknowledge that strong waves of grief can still resurface, sometimes years later, especially during special events, holidays, anniversaries, significant milestones. That's completely normal. It's just part of the ride.
And this brings us to another really well-known concept, right? The 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross introduced those. A lot of people feel pressured, I think, to move through those stages like steps on a ladder.
Yeah, and what's often misunderstood is that Kubler-Ross herself never intended these to be some rigid sequential framework that everyone must experience to heal. She actually clarified later, she said, there is not a typical response to loss, as there is no typical loss.
Oh, okay. So they're descriptions, not prescriptions.
Exactly. There are
Yeah.
common responses, yeah, not mandatory steps.
Hmm.
You don't have to go through each one in order or even experience all of them to find your way forward.
Yeah.
It's really about finding your way, not trying to follow some checklist.
That must be a huge relief for so many people listening. And speaking of checklists, let's tackle some other common beliefs, myths really, that can actually get in the way of healing. For instance, the idea that the pain will go away faster if you just ignore it, stuff it
All
down.
right. It's such a natural instinct, isn't it, to want to avoid discomfort,
Yeah.
pain, but trying to suppress it, push it away, it only prolongs the grieving process.
Right.
Yeah, in fact, it can lead to complications down the road, things like depression, anxiety, even substance abuse sometimes. So instead of pushing it away, actually embracing the discomfort, acknowledging it, that's often the very first step towards finding genuine healing and being able to move forward. It's like, tending to a wound, not pretending it isn't there.
Or that pressure to be strong in the face of loss. Like showing emotion is some kind of weakness.
Oh, that's a big one. Feeling sad or frightened or lonely, that's a perfectly normal human reaction to loss. Crying isn't a sign of weakness. It's a natural release. It's healthy.
Uh-huh.
And actually showing your true feelings, it helps both yourself and the people around you understand what you're actually going through. And hey, someone who doesn't cry might feel the pain just as deeply, maybe even more so. It just manifests differently for them.
And what about the notion that moving on with your life means forgetting about your loss? That always felt wrong to me.
It is wrong. It's a profound misconception. Moving on means you've accepted the reality of the loss, yes, but that is absolutely not the same thing as forgetting.
Right.
The memories, the love, the influence of what or who you've lost, they become an integral defining part of who you are now. As one expert put it beautifully, you learn to move on with your life and keep the memory of someone or something you lost as an important part of you. It's about integration, you see, not erasure.
Integration, not erasure. I like that. That actually brings us nicely to a really transformative concept, which is that grieving is centrally a process of meaning reconstruction, going beyond just acceptance. What does that actually look like in practice?
Yeah, this is, I think, in many ways the ultimate goal, the heart of this deep dive. It's about finding meaning. And that meaning might be found in the death itself, maybe in the life of the person you lost, or in your own life after the loss.
Okay, can you give some examples?
Sure. It could be something like creating new family traditions or rituals to celebrate a loved one's life. Or maybe finding that the loss, unexpectedly, brings other family members or friends closer together.
Yeah, I've seen that happen, where connections kind of deepen in the face of adversity. So finding meaning can also involve a shift in your own perspective.
Exactly. It might teach you the importance of living more mindfully, perhaps practicing gratitude more consciously, or maybe developing a new passion, like giving back to a cause that was important to your loved one in their memory.
Right.
It might mean really changing your personal priorities, your whole way of life. The crucial point here, though, is that avoiding the grief process, trying to sidestep it, only delays this opportunity to find meaning and to heal. It's an active process. You have to engage with it.
This active engagement, it also seems to extend to embracing positive emotions and gratitude, even when you're in the middle of sorrow. Our research mentioned accepting the good. What does that mean exactly?
It's about making a deliberate effort, a practice really, of tuning in to what still remains in your life. There's a powerful warning attached. Don't lose what you have to what you have lost.
Wow, that's potent. Don't lose what you have to what you have lost.
It is. This idea, sometimes it's called benefit finding. It isn't about ignoring the pain at all. It's about intentionally hunting out, as you put it, those positive emotions. Things like hope, love, humor, maybe pride in something, inspiration, serenity, even awe. These positive feelings can act as a really powerful buffer against depression.
I love that phrase, hunting out positive emotions. So it could be simple things like going for a walk in nature to find some serenity, or watching an inspiring movie, or just taking pride in something your kids achieved.
Precisely. Simple things. There's a great daily practice called 3 Good Things. Have you heard of it?
I think so, vaguely.
Basically, you reflect on, and ideally write down, just 3 positive things that happened during your day, no matter how small they seem. It helps intentionally shift your focus, even for a moment, towards what's still good in your life.
That sounds very manageable. Another powerful strategy that came up is mindfulness. How does cultivating presence, being mindful, help specifically when someone's grieving?
Mindfulness, at its core, is about bringing your attention to your present experience, moment to moment, but with a specific attitude, non-judgmental, curious.
Okay.
It's been shown to help reduce symptoms of chronic pain, sadness, anxiety. It can even support positive changes in the brain and improve emotional regulation.
How does that apply to grief?
Well, for someone grieving, mindfulness allows you to sort of observe your experience, the sadness, the anger, the memories as they are, without immediately trying to push them away or fix them.
Okay. Less struggle.
Exactly. It fosters this healthy dose of self-compassion. It helps you trust your own intuition, maybe move towards greater optimism eventually. It's about acknowledging the pain, yes, but not getting completely lost or consumed by it.
That makes sense. That idea of actively engaging with grief also leads us to giving voice to it, right? Through what the research calls narrative strategies. One really potent tool mentioned is journaling.
Oh, journaling is incredibly powerful. It's a space for processing grief, for honoring love, for recording precious memories, and for self-discovery, really. Reconstructing your personal narrative through writing, it's critical for healing, and it provides this completely judgment-free space.
Like a private conversation.
Exactly. For some people, it can even feel like a way to continue the conversation with the loved one they lost. Using guided prompts can sometimes be helpful too, especially if free writing feels daunting. Things like, "I remember when you and I," or "My happiest memory of you is." They can gently help you approach difficult feelings or cherished memories.
Beyond journaling, rituals and symbolic bonds can play a really vital role too. And this isn't just about like traditional mourning rites, is it?
Not at all. These can be very personal, sometimes small ways to keep the deceased present in your life, and they can help restore a feeling of control, which often gets lost in grief.
Like what kind of things?
Oh, it could be wearing a piece of your loved one's jewelry, baking their favorite recipe on their birthday, carrying a small item of theirs when you travel. This connects to a concept called continuing bonds.
Continuing bonds.
Yeah, it's the idea that it's actually healthy, it's okay to keep loving and feeling connected to those who have died. They remain an integral part of your identity, your life story.
So it's not about cutting ties.
Not at all. It's about finding an appropriate place for them in your changed life. Maybe that's through honoring their life imprint, noticing how they influenced your mannerisms or your values, or perhaps by preserving linking objects, things that belong to them that hold special comfort and shared symbolic meaning.
That makes so much sense. It's about integrating their ongoing presence, their legacy, not trying to sever ties completely. And sometimes, when literal words just fail us, figurative language like metaphors can step in.
Absolutely. This is where grief can become almost, well, artful in a way. Using metaphors or even writing personal poetry can help crystallize moments, validate really complex emotions, and articulate things that just can't be plainly stated.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Some people describe grief that pops up unexpectedly years later, like finding something in Sarah's suitcase, something hidden away, or maybe feeling grief not as a crushing weight, but as Kenya's rock, a large, protective presence. These images can lead to surprising insights and give you a new language for that unspeakable pain.
Wow, that's really creative. Finally, and this is so crucial, you don't have to go through grief alone, right?
Yeah.
Seeking support and practicing self-care are absolutely vital.
Yes, absolutely vital. Face-to-face support from friends, family, neighbors. It's essential. It's so important to accept help when it's offered, and maybe even learn to clearly communicate what you actually need, which can be hard.
Yeah, people often don't know what to say or do.
Exactly. Many people feel awkward comforting someone who's grieving, but it's still vital not to isolate yourself because of that awkwardness. And for many, drawing comfort from their faith or spiritual activities like praying or meditating can be a huge source of solace.
And support groups too, right? They offer that invaluable shared experience.
Definitely. And look, for those facing really overwhelming grief, maybe finding themselves relying on substances or having thoughts of self-harm, or experiencing what's called persistent complicated grief. Seeking professional help from a therapist or a grief counselor is paramount. Don't hesitate.
That's really important advice.
And finally, prioritizing physical self-care. It's often overlooked in grief, but it's critical. Eating as healthy as you can, staying hydrated, trying to maintain a regular sleep schedule, engaging in enjoyable activities, even small ones, and physical activity. These are all foundational to resilience.
And avoiding self-medicating.
Absolutely. Avoid using alcohol or drugs to numb the pain. And one last practical tip. Try to plan ahead for known grief triggers, anniversaries, holidays, significant milestones. Acknowledge that those emotional waves are normal at these times, and maybe preparing for them a little can make a difference.
Okay. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it feels really clear that grief is this profound, incredibly individual journey. It's not, as you said, a problem to be fixed, but an experience to be integrated into your life.
Exactly. And resilience isn't about somehow avoiding the pain. It's about actively engaging with it, finding ways to cope, connecting with others, and crucially, reconstructing meaning in a life that has been forever changed.
So the key takeaways seem to be, your grief journey is unique, there's no right way or timeline.
Right. And embrace those active strategies. Reconstruct meaning, deliberately seek out positive emotions, practice mindfulness, give voice to your feelings through narrative like journaling or rituals, and please lean on your support system.
And hope. Hope isn't about forgetting.
Not at all. Hope is about accepting that the intensity of the pain does ease eventually, and that new growth, like the steadfast return of spring after even the harshest winter, it's always possible.
That's a beautiful image. So a final thought for everyone listening. As you move forward, what new tradition, perhaps, or what surprising connection, or maybe what unexpected burst of inner color might you invite into your life today? As a testament, really, to the love that endures and the resilience that lights your path forward.